Okay, guys, how's it going? And okay, what's up, guys? How's it going? It's Matt with another video, and today I'm gonna talk about the whole KSI situation and how him leaving the Sidemen actually shows that he's lacking some things inside that he has to solve. Because those who don't know, the whole situation is that KSI left the Sidemen wasn't, and his leaving of the Sidemen wasn't like a graceful bow out of being part of the Sidemen and just doing his own thing that is gonna be for him, or he's just taking a break and also just working on his music more. It was him trying to leave the Sidemen to think to be bigger than he actually was. Because don't get me wrong, he is big and he worked on his success. He deserved it all. But the only problem is he thought that after leaving the Sidemen, he was gonna be doing better, and the Sidemen would be basically like holding him back from his full potential for some unknown reason. But in his chase for that, he was trying to chase after the success of Mr. Beast, I Show Speed, and Kaisenet. We've seen like various of interviews where KSI was like continuously comparing himself with Speed and Kaisenet, saying that if he was on his own, he could have done that, or he's just as better, or he's just better like them. And it was just showcasing his lack. Because if you're a person who thinks that you could attain like I Show Speed and Kaisenet and also Mr. Beast's success and whatnot, you'd actually pursue it without trying to say it on the internet, saying that bro, I can do this. If I wasn't in the summer, man, I could have done this. That's my KSI accent, but I digress. But the problem is, in him doing so, he was just doing like soulless Mr. Beast content, saying that, hey, 100 dollar swords slicing watermelons or whatever. Like, his content was basically like a cheap imitation of Mr. Beast's, and in doing so, it was just in his pursuit on okay, and in his pursuit on doing so, he was doing it like poorly, and he felt soulless, and it was very tiring because he's trying to replicate Mr. Beast like success and whatnot, and you'd see him not even enjoying it. And now we see like the other side from the other side from the Sidemans. Oh my god. And they are just going even better. They're living like better than they had ever without KSI, because it actually shows that KSI was just being like a negative, because he was looking down on himself, and he was blaming his friends for the case of holding him back and whatnot, instead of him just being like just taking a break from the whole Sideman channel and also his channel to actually have some self-reflection and identifying the things that are not working for him or the issues that were going on in his life. But no, he just blamed everything on his friends, and now he's just watching the Sideman channel that he just left doing better than it ever had with him. Because I like KSI. I watched his content. He's trying not to laughs, even though he was faking most of his laughs. Come on, bro. Like, if you watched his content, you'd know bro is literally faking all his laughs. But I liked him because he was actually, doing his thing, relaxing, actually being like a creator at times. But then you just see his other side where he's just like a arrogant prick and going crazy against like every other person underneath the sun. Even though I know that he isn't aware of what he's doing and the things that he's doing, and I know that he feels like a lot of regret because he left his friends to chase success that he didn't need to even chase after. Because a lot of people has came to an agreement where they were saying that KSI didn't even need to have like mom, because he already has everything he wants. The only thing that he's lacking is like self-love and self-assurance, because that's all he is literally lacking. If he literally just, like I said, left everything and had some self-reflection and came back, I'm pretty sure he would have been like even bigger than he is currently. Because all you need to do in life, if you're going to like a situation where you don't understand the path you're going, you just have to take some a step back and actually like reevaluate the situation that you're living in and actually find like the root problem, and you'll see like a big, and I mean big, difference in your life. Because if you're ever gonna be like KSI in the future, just comparing yourself with other people and having this sense of envy rather than the sense of trying to be better, you're always gonna face a wall. And when that wall hits you, it's gonna hit you. So all I have to say is that, remember, don't turn your back on people that you call yourself friends, and you were always being like cool with each other, and you actually attain like success with each other just because you feel like you can do better without them. But in actuality, you guys were like yin and yang. You were helping each other's growth when it comes to content creation or just success in general. So all I have to say is, don't be a piece of crap, and actually become a better version of yourself. Don't look down on others because you quote unquote feel like they're holding you back, and just be like the best version of yourself. Chase success, and love y'all, man.